And we're going live, man. All right. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the imho.love show. I am Lou Angelwolf. That's Mike Murburg.
And I'm a Democrat.
Well, you are?
Yeah, I'm still a Democrat.
When did that change?
Well,
oh, wait, you were?
Yeah, I changed to Democrat, 25 years ago.
Wow.
I was a Republican in Tallahassee, which Tallahassee's all Democrat.
Right.
All right, because guess what? The minority party always needs help.
Right.
And so when I came down here and I decided to run for office many years ago, I ran as a Democrat, and I stayed a Democrat. And,
wow.
Without a Republican, but at this point in time, people have forgotten what old Democrats look like, so I'm going to stay with the party, just to remind them of where they come from.
Wow, very nice. So, my Democrat friend Mike.
There you go.
I've been a registered independent for a long time, which leaves me out of a lot of elections. I can only vote in the major general elections. I can't do regional ones, but.
So you get to vote for who the fools have picked.
Yes, exactly. It's basically, yeah. But yeah, what's left?
It's good though. That's good.
Well, I just I never was able to toe either party line, and I just had some other ideas about stuff. Yeah. Well, anyway, folks, welcome to the show. imho.love. imho is in my humble opinion .love. We cover the incredible world of CE5, which is Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind. We've had huge news this week from the Pentagon, which was immediately retracted. Did you see that?
Yeah. It's like I've given up on disclosure. It's really funny. It's like, who cares what yesterday's baseball scores are like in today's, baseball scores chart?
Sure.
When you were at the game behind home plate watching the whole thing yesterday.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. Let's poor Roger Maris. But anyway, so and the reality of it is, those of us that are really close into the CE5 movement or the HICE, human initiated contact experiences.
Well, not only the movement, but the practice of it. So many people are posters, but they never get out into the field. And we're out into the field at least once a month. We've been doing that for almost 4 years.
Right.
So it's crazy. Our experiences are crazy enough, many. And a lot of them are videotaped and stuff like that. So it's the practice of this that matters, not the talking about it.
Yeah, exactly right. And, I want to apologize. I read my comments pretty much as they come out. Or, I spend enough time on Facebook and various media sources. A friend of ours was stating like they felt like you and I were like elevating ourselves above others because of the contact experiences that we've had. We're kind of like showing off, and because if you haven't had this experience, they felt less than. I don't know. Maybe I triggered them. I don't know.
Well, sorry you triggered them, but you're not responsible for their feelings. And
that's true.
The other thing is if you don't know what book you're reading or you want to read, you go to a library, and the first person you go to is
the librarians.
That's all we are, librarians. For Christ's sakes, just
it's exactly right.
One more reason not to like us. They're librarians.
Shh.
I'm a Democrat. That's funny.
Wow. You're going to have handicapped parking.
So obviously, if you're independent and I'm a Democrat, we have no Republicans here, so would that make us independent thinkers?
The hell? The hell? I get accused of being a Trumper all the time.
I know, but all you do is just report stuff,
I know. Well, anyway, if I offended somebody, and if you thought that I was elevating our spirituality because we have had contact experiences, I'm sorry you feel that way.
We've had a shitload of contact experiences. You're definitely underplaying.
Okay.
And we have a lot of evidence of it.
That's true, absolutely. But it's one of those things that's kind of like you don't want to brag too much. I don't know.
People keep on denigrating you. You got to stand up for yourself and tell them what the facts are.
That's true.
It doesn't matter if they're favorable to you. For Christ's sakes, you get hauled into somebody's court of judgment like I did this week. We'll talk about that later. I mean, it gave me a new appreciation for, for Laverne Beria.
Well, and the other thing, too, is that this show is called Rose-Colored Glasses, and look at these babies. And I was talking, and look at them.
Well,
huh? Elton John?
imho.love.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, if you're watching this, you can go to imho.love, and we post during the week important stuff.
Yeah.
So if there's something you want to talk about or write in about, go to imho.love on Facebook. Yeah, we haven't completely ruined that.
No, it's got some dents in it, but whatever.
Close.
Yeah.
But no.
And then it goes on YouTube, and then it goes again on BitChute, and it also goes on Podbean. So imho.love is easy to find.
Yeah, so if we're still on YouTube, so we must be saying something truthful that's not so offensive so that the powers that be want us yanked from YouTube.
Sure.
So it's moderately offensive and highly educational.
They're so tender. But what I was talking about was, a lot of people really do think that we're going to glide right through this, and after the election, everything's just going to turn back into stock car races and rebel flags, and Aunt Jemima's coming back, and
and it's your fault that they fired her.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think that's going to happen. I think those days are gone forever, and like most time that's been spent.
Yeah, change is eternal. You just got to roll with it.
Yeah, but those looking through the rose-colored glasses are reminiscing about something that doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
I had some comedian buddies of mine yakking the other night about, hey man, once it comes back and the road's here and this and that and the other thing, it literally could be
like
years.
Like radio again. Where
that'd be perfect.
People will forget about this film stuff real quick, and we'll be back in the money again.
Plastics. That's where it's at. Plastics.
That's right.
So, what I'm saying, folks, is there is a lot of reality you're going to have to face here. Between me and you, in our tenderheartedness, I hope we don't have to deal with any of this crap for years and years and years. And if we get a reprise here at the end of 2020 and things kind of go back to whatever, just know that 2030 is also a huge target date for the cabal and the globalists who want to see us as socialists. They want to control everything about America. America is the grand prize. It's amazing the weight that we have carried on our backs. Horrible. And our government, I mean, they really just beat the piss out of the middle class. We're the one that takes all the shots.
Yeah, well, who's talking about slavery? I mean, what about the guy that has to work every day just to be able to feed himself and keep a roof over his head? Forget about taking time off and going someplace.
Dude, we're free-range slaves.
Yeah.
Okay, it's really what we are. We're free-range slaves. They've got us believing this. We're working for this fiat currency, which literally is tokens within the company store, and what they're trying to do is expand the company store to only their mitigated stores.
Hey, I got a new definition of fiat currency.
Yeah?
Fix it again, treasury.
Fix it again, treasury. There you go. That's good. You car guys will know fiat is fix it again, Tony. If you've ever owned one, you know what I mean.
Right.
But so there's just a bunch of reality that people are going to have to accept here. Mostly, the big thing that I'm seeing some tug of war now. There's people going, if they offer the vaccine, will you get it? And I'm seeing a lot of people going, yeah, I can't wait for this to end. I'll get the vaccine. But, vaccines have been around 70-some years for the flu. And we still have the flu. So what makes you think they're going to fix it? What makes you think, and here's the other thing, what makes you think they really give a shit about you? That's the hard part. Just know that your government lies to you about almost everything, okay? Every once in a while, they'll strike a piece of truth just to keep you in the game.
And if you don't believe us, just look at the UFOs.
Oh, the UFO thing has turned another page. week.
Yeah, literally. The New York Times. It's UFOs have gone from the National Enquirer. What's that?
Get a little closer.
Oh, it's gone from the National Enquirer to the New York Times now.
Right.
So literally, I mean, in 70 years, it's made that jump. You know, we've got to take our hat off. You know, the really true newspapers were actually the shopping rags
yeah.
that we were reading, and the New York Times was full of bullshit.
Yep. Well,
for 70 years, full of bullshit.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, it's it's the political steering vessels. Dependent on what paper, and now it's divided. It's divided now on the internet. Of course, a lot of people don't look at a static newspaper anymore at all. All they have is their online presence. They'll look at various news sites, and depending on which news sites you're looking at, is which of the 6 major media corporations is feeding you your information. It's already been filtered. It's already been sanitized. It's already been ready for you to hear. These are master journalists with no scruples. Okay, they are as convincing as you would ever want to be. I mean, they're fantastic at the spin, and they have an agenda that they try to cloak in this area of middle ground fairness, but it always kind of leans to a side. And it's both sides, right side, left side. Everybody's got a spin, even though you're coming out of the 6 major media groups. And by the way, 20 years ago, there used to be 94 of them. Yeah. So now your news groups are all filtered down. There's all this corporate stuff. They want us to, use our tokens, our fiat currency tokens, to spend them at big box stores and Walmart and everybody that's on their team. See, there's so much influencing going on right now. It's dizzying, and I know a lot of people right now, they're having a hard time staying focused. My poor little brother, I love him so much, but he really takes a lot of this stuff personally, man. I mean, he watches and that's his fault that he watches the dumb TikTok videos of people beating each other's ass in the street. You can't, it's garbage in, garbage out. I mean, you got to protect your eye gate. You got to protect your ear gate. If you bring in too much garbage, that's all you're going to think. That's all you have in there. So you have to start out with elevated thought during the day and then fend off this crap as it comes along, because, they want you to, the lower vibrations want you to stand there and duke it out. Anytime a lower vibration can get a higher vibration to come down to their level and duke it out, that's a win for them regardless of the outcome of the discussion. Okay? But if you are vibrating at a higher level and you merely have the ability to shun these aside or just let them go by, then you win. Okay? You didn't engage in a lower you didn't play under your league. You kept yourself up here because there's a lot of stuff you've got to make your mind up about. Some of it you have to defend, some of it you don't. And just be who you are. And
you never look good fighting somebody who's below your weight.
That's true. That's true.
So
yeah.
Just back off
and
don't fight.
Never fight anybody that has nothing to lose.
And never fight somebody who's larger than you are. Christ's sakes,
Yep. So, and the internet bickering and all that other stuff, it's absolutely ridiculous. I would like to thank Kat Carroll so much for all your work, dear. We did not get to the things that you sent, but we will cover them next week. You're a doll. She is so helpful to us.
And yes, there are attorneys without printers in their home.
Amazing.
Yes.
You are a relic.
I am.
Yeah, and a nice one. That's very good.
Well, thank you.
Very good. It's a Renaissance man, if you would.
Not if you've read the Borgias.
I so don't like television, but maybe I'll get on there.
Yeah, that's a series worth watching.
Okay, yeah. Well, I believe you.
Yeah, the Pope with a family. How like crazy can you get?
The Pope with a family.
Yeah,
wow.
Yeah, so,
yeah, it's nice.
Yeah.
Well, you had a diagram. What's the diagram?
Oh, no.
Oh, was that from last week?
Yeah,
last week's diagram?
Seven stages of evolution.
The 7 stages of evolution. Yeah, okay, I remember that part. Yeah, okay. And what do you got? And where?
What do I got here?
Yeah, where are we at now?
A couple of things. Yeah, you mentioned earlier in the show that, like, you know, being on Facebook and whatnot, and politics. But this past week, Cambridge Analytica closed down. And for those who don't remember, they're in England, and they actually were proud of having influenced the elections in 44 states through Facebook, resulting in affecting the votes of 4.5 million people, essentially for Hillary.
4.5 million.
Yeah. So you get the Russians that are accused of running this falsely, which the evidence shows. I mean, unless you have somebody, some troll in there just trolling your website.
Yes.
That's really
which is a profession these days.
Right. We haven't heard much about that ever since. But yeah. So 4.5 million votes, and I think that's the big issue in the upcoming election is, can we trust the election results if in any way or form they are they're IT. So my advice is go and actually vote, physically vote. Ask for a paper ballot if your jurisdiction allows it, because the voting is going to be corrupt. And I'm not saying which side or the other, but this is going to be a rough election because we don't know what truth is anymore, and ethics have definitely gone out the window. So
yeah, that's true. Hey, I'm trying to get the computer working here. We are just like Kathy. I miss you, Kathy McGuire, who used to come to the show and make sure all this stuff worked. Now it's up to us, and here we are. But hi, Mark Cottingham, Eric Smith. Thank you for tuning in, Kat. Thank you very much. Nanette, Victoria. I've had just so much great input. My friend Yvonne out in California, she's duking it out with somebody online right now. Funny, and of course Caroline and the lovely and beautiful Pamela. I just can't make this thing go, man. I don't know what it is with me and this thing. It's like, I don't know.
You're on the air. You shouldn't be on a computer.
I know, but I was trying to enhance the feed. I was trying to respond.
That's okay.
And like I said, when Kathy's was here, it was easier because it's a third person.
Changes the journal. Let go of it. We'll go on in the show. How's that?
There it goes. It's gone.
Okay. Good.
Okay.
Good. Go on.
No. Go ahead.
Can I mention Kathy Griffin?
Of course you can. This was funny.
It was. I thought it was hilarious.
I mean, it's dark, but it's funny.
Yeah. So, if you don't know who Kathy Griffin was, she was a comedian. She used to be a pretty damn good one, too.
Yeah.
But she used to complain that she would never get to the A-list. She was always on the B, C, or D list.
She was a D-lister, yeah.
She was horrible, because she wasn't a great comedian, but female comedians are rare. So you got to give them their due, and, they're in
she was duking it out. I mean, she didn't bother me for many years, and until she did the severed head. Until
something crazy happened, and then she ends up filming her with President Trump's head, and recently severed. So keeping that as a background, okay?
Right.
I found that one of my buddies sent me a post, and it was basically all these people that had visited Epstein Island, which Tom Hanks, and you had Bill Clinton, you had bunch of them, and the actors, and and Barack Obama was one of them. Okay, so I posted it, and the tagline on the post was Kathy Griffin finally makes it to the A-list. She was on there. She went to Epstein Island. So it was like some guy read it who was the head of some big CE5 HICE site, and he accused me of accusing Obama of being a pedophile. It's like, no, dude, that was a joke. You totally missed it. What are you, a communist?
Jeez.
I was like, yeah, the bastard humor of a communist, which reminded me of Beria, who was Stalin's first lieutenant, who was also a communist, and who also was responsible for murdering 8 to 10 million kulaks in the Volga River bend.
8 to 10 million.
Yeah, 8 to 10 million. And I think
that takes a while.
Yeah, but very quickly, 1928, and then they starved in 29, and then it was over in 30.
Oh my God!
So yeah, it's the biggest slaughter of an ethnic group ever, and essentially they were Germans who Catherine the Great had brought over because they were such farmers, and they settled in the Volga River bend, and they were so good that they became wealthy. Not wealthy, but I mean they had like 2 cows and 2 horses and a wagon.
Sure, loaded.
And yeah, so but they were the most productive area of what was then the Soviet Union, and then they killed them all. And Beria was ahead of that, and so and when as Stalin's lieutenant. Stalin was famous for not having a sense of humor.
Yes.
Unless somebody was like dying that he wanted.
I think
to die.
Stalin-esque is a word, isn't it?
Yeah. And so needless to say, this fellow actually trolled my personal site to find that post because I had gotten into a discussion with him on his site, and he didn't like what I was saying. Because I was replying to his boasting having. Deleted at least 5 Trumpsters, and then I checked one of my mails, and it said, "Sorry, this was like from last week. I don't get to my mails."
Yeah, you're a busy guy.
My Facebook mail. I said, "Sorry, I have to not communicate with you because all of your friends are right-wing nuts, and all I have to say is, lefty loosey, righty tighty."
All that to say that. Righty tighty, lefty loosey. That's hilarious.
True. It's like a Taoist cone. How do we apply this to human beings? So.
Oh my God, that's funny. Well,
I know I'm going to stop you again. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
But it brings us to the issue of politicizing CE5.
That doesn't even seem like it could be a sentence.
Yeah, it's as idiotic as weaponizing space.
Right.
Knowing that there's a superior power out there that Earth, poof.
Right.
Next.
Like we're not going to be like taking a BB gun away from a kid.
Right. We're not talking about just stuff blowing up. We're just talking about vaporization immediately. So, that's why ET is here. We've had enough. When we go out there and we make contact, so many times we have like comedians in our group.
Right. Some funny people.
And we go back with comedians too. Like, part of this group, part of the history of the group is Bobby Bolton. And, wherever you are, Bobby, God bless you. I hope you're, Buddy, I'm sorry. Buddy.
I miss him.
I'm stoned. Okay, sorry. I got no short-term memory. Okay. But yeah, Buddy was part of this experience here, an amazing part of it. And hope you're doing well wherever you are. Heart goes out to you.
Yeah.
And but the part of the where we just you give up ego. It's like they're not coming tonight. And you start joking around, and all of a sudden there they are.
Yeah.
So having a healthy sense of humor is good for this, and having a balanced brain, right and left, is important as well. It's like Lao Tzu teaches is that what you need is both a mind and a heart as open as the sky. And if you
both a mind and a heart as open as the sky. Wow, it's beautiful.
And if you think about what we do at night, that's exactly what we do. We open it up, we see this wonderful panoply of sky and star above us, and then we understand what oneness is. Matter of fact, this guy that had the pleasure of arguing with me.
The pleasure of arguing with me.
But to his gloating on having eliminated Trumpsters from his website, kind of like Beria did to the kulaks in 2010. Out
done.
But in my reply to that, I said Ahomadakui Osain, and he's like, what relevance is that? Well, it's like, look, we're all one family, we are all one. I mean, what about like unity consciousness don't you get? You know, you see a dark side and you think you're the white side. No, the dark side is also within you. You just have a different kind of control over it.
Right.
So, and...
you got too deep.
Yeah, I illuminated him to the fact that, you know, Jung would say, look, you know, if you're looking at Trumpsters that way, they're your dark side, okay?
Right.
You know, and without right and left, without dark and white, you don't have a balance of things. And, you know, if you don't have a balance of things, it's just not going to work. So that's kind of where I left him.
But he suspended you or
booted me completely.
Blocked? Oh,
yeah, I was
unfriended.
Just blocked me from the site. Yeah. We used to post our blogs on his site a couple of years ago. Yeah.
Okay.
And then, but apparently, not a lot of people laughed at them. So I really have to kind of wonder if the native sense of humor in the group, because everybody takes it all too seriously.
Yeah, I know.
You know.
Yeah. Well, folks, this is the imho.love show. Lou Angelwolf, Mike Murburg. In my humble opinion, .love. There is so much. People go, what are you going to do the show about? And I go, I said, you know, rose-colored glasses. Don't rest. Don't relax. And thank you, Nan, for the glasses. They're a great prop. There's so much going on right now. And if you look at the congressional hearings right now, I mean, it's absolutely repulsive. These are the top legislators in the country. And these people act like, it looks like detention hall. And everybody's just allowed to just run their mouth. It looks so much like idiocracy. Yeah. I can't even believe it.
Yeah.
And I feel bad for Barr, because here's a guy that really does know what's going on. He's not playing. Yeah, I mean, he plays his role, as they all do. We all do. But I mean, just the harshness and the rudeness.
Well, you know, it's really got to affect him, because, you know, he started out working with the CIA before he went to law school.
Okay.
You know, he started out with the CIA right out of college, actually, you know, at the end of college. And he was a CIA operative for a long time. He worked for Bush's father.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so he's been in with
Prescott.
HW, not W. So Prescott was...
That was the grandfather.
Yeah. So...
Bush won.
Yeah, Bush won. So he worked, and he's worked with them all.
Yeah.
So here he is working for Trump. And if he's on the level with Trump, his brain must be fucking exploding, because all the shit he's had to go through to get here, and all of a sudden he faces this. What the fuck are you going to do? And nobody's been prosecuted yet. We just keep on hearing, you know, things are progressing. Well, you know, things in the real world progress very, very quickly, and things in the political world are getting nowhere very fast.
Well, they know how to set every tripwire. They know how to slow down every process. They know how to, you know, I mean, the people that run our country are overzealous attorneys, really, and for the most part. They become Congress people and then become career politicians.
Which, by the way, Eastman Kodak was up like 1,900% in 3 days, because they announced that they were going to actually engage in creating drugs for big pharma, and they got a $750 million government loan. So all of a sudden their stock, went from the nothing to, skyrocketing. And you can bet, I'd love to see which congressmen and senators, had portfolios that benefited like that, because they were exempt from, the reporting requirements inside trading. So they had, all that information. That's how these people get so rich.
Did they say that they were going to be producing the hydroxychloroquine?
No, I don't believe it was that. No, that's so sad. There's so much argument over that with the zinc and then the erythromycin.
And vitamin D3 and C?
And that's what you need to do, is vitamin A, vitamin C, vitamin D3.
Turmeric, awesome.
Turmeric is good too. It's a pain reducer. But, but with what we just gave you, that's how you boost your immune system, so that you don't get it anyway. And if you do get it, it won't run you down or kill you. Mm-hmm. And then the hexachloroquine, is as soon as you're coming into it to take that to try to knock it out. It's like taking an ounce of Seltzer Plus when you first sneeze,
Right.
And then after that you're in good shape. Don't get on the ventilator though; you're dead.
No, yeah, ventilator is not the way to treat that. If it is, the other thing, and I have not had any time to research this. I think Kat Carroll may have. I tried to get to your email, Kat. I just, I'm disheveled. That the hydroxychloroquine decalcifies your pineal gland. So another reason, my friend Yvonne was telling me about this too. That's one of the reasons they want to make it hard to get, is because more and more people will take it and
not need the vaccine.
And to decalcify your pineal gland, meaning that you're freeing your intuition, you're freeing your third eye.
Yep.
You're going to see through this thin veneer. I do things that help it, but I still drink coffee, and
mushrooms will get you there.
Well, let's just do it.
Let's like legalize them, man. We won't be rioting in the streets.
No.
Yeah, we thought marijuana would like do that, but the reality is that when the Muslim hordes attacked the West, they're all high on hashish. So there really wasn't an overall calming effect. We might have learned that and expected more of ourselves. But it's time for mushrooms.
There's an incongruency in a definition of the word assassin.
Yeah.
Okay, is that word is derived from hash hash. Okay, and those were guys all hopped up on hash. Okay, and then they talked them into going and committing crimes and murders.
Yeah.
But I've smoked hash in the past.
Yeah.
I didn't feel like killing nobody.
Yeah. That's like, it's basically like taking like 10 units of marijuana and compressing it into one and then using the one.
So they were like hyper-dosed.
Yeah.
Is that what it was?
Yeah,
Hyper-dosed?
Yeah, it wasn't illegal for them. So they would have a block of hash the size of this table.
You know how many people die every year protecting poppy fields?
I know.
Amazing. So, and here's one of the things that Mike and I talk about often is the whole thing is actually starting to unravel. The cabal, the deep state, whatever you want to call it, they have got to be shitting bricks because everything that they hold dear is being challenged. And those who are conducting clandestine business with our government, those people are next. The pedophiles, all those people, really, it's kind of interesting. I've been in the entertainment industry for 35 years, kind of a minor league player. I never, made any big splashes in it. I mostly did it so I could speak out loud.
It's like, no, because there was a microphone there.
Yeah.
It's like if you were a shark in the ocean and somebody had a rod, to catch you, they would throw a microphone out. It's like, I know Lou's out there somewhere.
He's got something to say.
We got to get him in here.
Yeah, I just love hearing my voice modulated or frequency modulated.
Sometimes so much of it is success is so much luck.
Yeah,
and and if you don't hit it right, you don't hit it right. Yeah, just
and the other side of it is, I backed away consciously from a few things that could have been bigger.
Like having a kid and raising him.
Well, that
that
was
all.
Way more important.
That's all.
But what we're seeing is a lot of stuff falling away. I know, I got some conservative friends, I got some liberal friends, I got some friends in the middle, I got right-wing Christians, I got right-wing Jews, I even got a couple of Muslim friends in my mix of people, and all beautiful, loving souls, all of them. And regardless of the playbook that they follow, I know their hearts, I know who they are, and they're tender people. and that tends to be like the people that I gather near, or gather to me anyway, the soft-hearted ones. And those are the ones right now. And while we're right here at this stage in the show, if you look on my Facebook page, we do this show. We don't monetize this show. There's nothing really going on. But I do have a dear friend, Karen, who, she's in bad physical shape, and she is really in need of some financial help. If you go to my Facebook page, there's a PayPal or GoFundMe for her. And believe me, she's not saving up for a set of mags for her Toyota. This is for food and electricity and elements. So if you got a little, go ahead. It'll be greatly appreciated. It's a real deal. It's a genuine need, a genuine concern. So we're supposed to give away a percentage of what we make anyway. So if you can direct some money her way, that'd be awesome. And I won't ask again. But it's from my heart that I'm doing it, and I know she's so shy. She would never ask. That's why I moved it to the next square for her. But anyway, it's that kind of stuff, and it's those kind of people that really listen to the show. And thank you so much for everybody that does. I love you all. I mean, I listen to you and I text with you during the week, and I read what you write, and it's awesome. We are blown away all the time by the compassion of the people that like our show. So we are taking a real beating right now electronically. I had a day job last week that I no longer have. And part of the reasons was I was getting migraines every night. I was in a room with 10 computers, fluorescent lighting, and just the harshest Wi-Fi ever. I mean, it literally, if you could do like one of those movie scenes where you can like illuminate all the power that's flying through, if we turned it all, alien green, I'd go, I'm not going in there. And literally every night I was coming home with a headache, and the job actually was stressful. And they weren't compensating me enough for big stress. I mean, I can do big stress, but you got to pay me. Oh. So, and really, I'm not looking forward to big stress. But
stress will kill you.
It is. It's what took my dad out, and I refuse to live that way. I'm trying to get my brother to calm down and be that way. But you can't blame anybody for being up on the balls of their feet right now.
No.
Whatever little tripwire that may set you off, believe me, it's in place. The second you move or start looking around, I mean, they're there for you. They'll whatever it takes to make you uncomfortable or twitch. They already know about it. They know so much about you already, just from your phone, from all your tweets. They've seen all your pictures. They know what you look at. They know what you don't look at. You're using their equipment. Okay? And the other thing, the new network that rolled out, the number in the letter will get you flagged, but the new network that rolled out, there's even further complications to that. And it's all, nobody will give a real straight scoop on it, because the owners of it are so big, you literally could vaporize from the earth if you got a little too vocal about it. But the other thing, there's a lot of people with the same experiences, and they're even talking about the virus being affected by it, and which, to me, that was the original mindset. That's what's happening here. And then it got really tamped down in the news, but now it's starting to circle back around. Like I said, we live in cyclical time. So here, all this stuff and the blending of AI. Man, what was the name of that? Well, do you know the name of that? You got your phone? What was the name of that documentary I sent you last night? I can't remember the funny title. It's in your email. I think.
I think I posted it.
Okay. Yeah, it's you put it on. I found it on BitChute. For those of you who are trying to protect your intellectual properties, if you do a podcast or a radio show, or if you want, if you're reporting on something and you want it protected, BitChute is a different kind of format that they don't censor it. They don't censor it. It's once it's up there, it kind of stays up there. I sent it in your email.
Yeah, I posted it. I think I posted it on.
Well, you posted a segment of it. There's Lee Camp.
Yeah.
But I thought, you posted it on your feed where you get the little pictures that go by.
Yeah, it's the first time I ever did that.
Yeah,
And now I can't find it, but I'll keep on looking.
All right. Amazing documentary, long and 3 hours worth, but it's a several people listened to it, there were several contributors to it, and I don't know if you've ever caught Lee Camp. Guy was a stand-up comic and a great guy, and really talented, really witty, and a very good reporter. We'll get you the title of it here in just a minute. But there's so much great information coming out right now. There's people really finding stuff and reporting stuff and sharing stuff. Absolutely amazing, the information that's available to us right now. And like I said, we say it every week, please stay away from your television. Don't watch the nightly news. It really is distracting and very, very hard. You find it?
Nope.
Let's see if I can find it. I know you got something else to comment on. Let me concentrate on this.
Yeah,
there's cat.
You go find it. One of my thoughts this week was, I was watching a portion of one of the riots in Portland, Oregon,
Mm-hmm.
and what it occurred to me is you got all these cops there, and they would rather be somewhere else.
Oh my God, yes.
With their families or doing something else other than keeping the federal building from being burned down. And, having it end up like Seattle,
right?
And knowing that at some point in time, the people that you're trying to protect are going to want you defunded.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's just, there's no good end to that. And it's just idiocy to think that way. To think that you can, overthrow 1,000 years of Western civilization and institute something that nobody really has ever done successfully before, and
right.
and it's based on an idea, not on sound historical practice.
Socialism gets really bad Yelp reviews.
Yeah.
And here's my plea. Okay, in this free market economy, there's a level of trust. Okay, that we all do business within. And it's often deceived. It's being deceived right now. There's people lying and misrepresenting, stealing, swindling, whatever. Okay, there's that. Okay, now, in this other regime, you're going to turn all that power over to the government to meter things out to you as you need them. Now, consequently, there will be people in charge of the metering out. So everybody has a price, okay? So if here's a guy that's in charge of, who gets turkeys on Thanksgiving, he can be bought. He can be, because he's living within the same system that you are, where there's no extra, where everybody's the same. And I can't tell you how miserable that makes people. If you haven't noticed it, look at people that have been raised on welfare their whole life. They're miserable. They didn't do, on many, many cases, they did not do much with their life. They took the path of least resistance. They took the money that they had. They lived off of that, and watched television and sat there and got programmed. And what happens is when that initial sugar tit dries up and there's no more sugar at the tit, they start looking for secondary sources of money. And that's where you're going to start a whole nother black market within that. So just know a lot of things look good on paper in the beginning, like a lease on a car.
There you go.
Yeah, there it is. Oh, yeah. Okay, yes. This was a, how do you say that word? Detriment? A detriment? I know it's a French word.
A detriment.
A detriment. A detriment.
It's a detriment. A detriment.
A detriment. There you go. There you go.
Un pastilla. See?
Very good. It's called The Kings of Oblivion. And a guy named Derek Swanson. And I was watching that. I'm a noticer, And as there's like an example of writings, okay? And one of the authors was Nancy DeTetra.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I saw her name flash up.
Yeah. We did a good CE5. We had a beautiful ship come in.
And what he covers a lot there is AI. And, of course, it goes into other things.
Well, let me interrupt.
Sure.
AI. What AI has become, we thought that we were going to make a slave out of it. And this has basically become the Spartacus Revolution. Mm-hmm. I mean, the slave has now become the gladiator who wants to become the master.
Right.
And, the problem is that nobody's really in control of it. And once again, mankind's in between. It's the own devil it's created. And, ET, non-human intelligences want to come in here and give us a hand, help us out. And we just keep, we're not worth it. But
right.
They think we are.
Well, in that same level where I was talking about the guy handing out the turkeys, okay? And if you gave him a little tip or something, he'd get you an extra turkey or a nice one, whatever.
A couple of turkey eggs.
Turkey eggs. There you go, dating you up. And if you look at the same thing of those who would be in control of AI, I'm sure they would go to certain levels because the capabilities of artificial intelligence right now are staggering. They only just pull back the shade for just a moment. What's that called? The Kings of Oblivion?
Yes, Kings of Oblivion.
The Kings of Oblivion. Rent this, okay, or would I watch it? I found it on BitChute, The Kings of Oblivion.
And then if you need it, I'll post it on imho.love.
Oh, please do.
There you go.
Please do. So anyway, there's going to be people in charge of AI and levels of sharing. Well, everybody's got a price. So if that guy gets sold out and the next level is very dangerous, it still might happen because those kind of things do. And that's what Mike and I do this show for, is to let you know, the soft-hearted people that love the show, if you're feeling the torment, so are we, because it is thank you. It is a big change for everybody. Take off your rose-colored glasses. So you got to start looking at some harsh realities. And as far as the vaccination goes, that'll be a whole nother show unto itself, what we may have to do to avoid that. I do not trust this program they got coming out. Bill Gates just put another $1 billion into global satellites, tracking every inch of the world.
Yeah, they're saying that they'll be able to activate viruses that can literally eat into your bones and do all kinds of stuff, get into your tissue immediately through the activation. You can be carrying it around with you, and all of a sudden, which is interesting because Judith, my friend, said, hey, they can actually do this all by aerosoling the viruses and then, triggering it by...
Absolutely.
So it's like, wow, okay, you're thinking.
Yeah, very good.
That.
It's impressive. Yeah.
She's been with us for a while, but she came out of nowhere.
Right. Sure. Very good. Very good. And with those kind of things said, and here's the thing. Mike and I hope we're exactly wrong. We hope that we are the goofiest tinfoil hat two guys that you ever met.
A dream, characters in a butterfly's dream.
That's We are characters in a butterfly's dream. We hope that so much. We hope we are so wrong. We hope the world turns into sugar plum fairies and lollipops and big puffy clouds and everybody's peace, love, happiness. And that's what we're saying. You got to start trending that way in your mind. Keep your spirit elevated to a degree. Don't go down there and argue in the trenches. Don't go down to their level. You've heard that your whole life. It's a real thing. So everybody, we're all like, I've never seen such a pensive moment, and I've certainly never been near a bigger, more intense presidential election than we got coming up. But again, in the levels of vibration, the presidential election is here, and there's so many other things happening way above it. But it seems to be the thing that has us all distracted right now.
Which is all the more reason to not lose heart and to trust your gut with what's going on.
That's right.
I mean, your whole system is there as a whole system, not just what you're reading and just what you're thinking. It's what you're feeling, and that's important. And any liberal will tell you that.
Sure, so, what you're feeling is very important.
Right, exactly. But they don't take it to the human, bodily, systemic level, right, as to determination of what reality is. Your reality is always comes from your brain. At least that's what they've been telling us, and they're full of shit too.
I think it's so funny.
Two guys from Jersey.
Hey, we're sorting it out. I think it's so funny. Every once in a while, I'll see somebody, they'll just like, in all caps, they'll write, "I stand with science."
Yeah.
Really?
Do you know that science was started by Descartes, who came up with the scientific method because he was told by an angel in a dream?
Yeah.
Fuck that. I mean, I accept it as real, but I mean, if you're talking about science and you leave out the phenomenological,
yep,
you're not getting it.
Phenomenological, what a great word.
Yeah, I hope that's what I meant.
It's a good one. It's a good one. Yeah, and we've also very plainly seen the buying of scientists.
Oh, fuck
yeah. But they come off so puritanical, like, well, I'm a member of, Butt Plug State University, and, I'm
usually Cornell.
It was a Princeton jab, wasn't it? I have 9 degrees from Butt Plug University, and I served on this and that and the other thing. So, but really, I mean, it's like car salesman telling you, well, I worked over at Sun Toyota for a while, and then I was down at, Crown Nissan.
But they offered me a better gig here.
They didn't do a drug test, so I went down there.
It's like saying, yeah, I was a tattoo guy, but I got sick of the corporate tattoo world. That's one of the best comedy lines I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Corporate tattoo world.
That's... Well, it's funny. I have a comic buddy of mine, Kyle. Great, funny, rude, funny, but good. He's a good dude. And when I met him, he really does look the part. He's all inked up. He's got the big beard. Yeah. He's got the whole tattoo thing. He's got gauges and all that stuff. And so I'm talking to him, and I'm thinking, yeah, man. And I'm sure this guy works, and I'm just picturing him at work as like around the corner of a meat market. He's got his little tattoo studio in there, and there's bikers and strippers, and I'm just picturing this guy's. I'm creating what I think his world looks like. Yeah. And I said, yeah. I says, you do nice work, and he does. He's very talented. And I go, yeah. So you're not like one of those guys at a strip mall or in the mall. You're at a tattoo shop in the mall. And he goes, yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm sorry, dude. You're still cool.
It's like you pay $21 a square foot, but what's that come into in inches for a tattoo?
Yeah, I know. I had a friend, George. George would go drinking every weekend. Okay, he'd get paid on Friday. He was a great mechanic. Yeah. George on a Tuesday could fix anything.
Yeah.
Okay, he was Wednesdays speciality, Thursday pretty good, Mondays and Fridays nah, and on the weekend you couldn't find him.
Yeah.
But he would get loaded up on a Friday night, and Brett, if you're listening to this, you know what I'm talking about. He'd go to a tattoo parlor, and he literally would just order tattoos off the wall. He'd go, let me that number 57 and put it right here. And like the next week he'd come in and he'd go, I want number 143 and put it over here. He literally ordered stuff off the wall, and he was decorated like a kid's locker. You know?
That's funny. Or his notebook.
Yeah. That was Lou's tattoos. He would go pick one off the wall at
I remember
Lou's.
tattoos.
Yeah, Lou's, yeah.
They moved to a mall. They used to be out there on the...
No. Lou's is... Well, last I saw, they were still on Cleveland.
Okay, that's where I remember.
Yeah, that's where they were.
They've been there forever.
But anyway. You know, I never got any tattoos. You ever get any tattoes?
No.
No? I didn't either.
No, but there's a great Gomer Pyle line, you know.
Yes.
Yeah, about the tattoo. He goes, yeah, I got a tattoo. And she goes, well, Gomer, where is it? And he pulls up his sleeve, and she goes, I can't see it. And he goes, well, I wanted to get spider, so I had once I started with the eye, I told him no. That's a spider eye right there. Golly.
No, actually what it was, I remember that episode because I used to smoke pot in the afternoon and not do anything. He was going to get a hula girl.
Ah, okay, yeah.
And her nostrils.
Oh, was that
the guy started with her nostrils. So all he had was these two little dots.
You're right. I can absolutely stand.
Yeah, because what was it? Mary Lou, his girlfriend, or Lou Ann, whatever, one of those.
Yeah,
Lou,
of course
Lou
he was gay, so there was no interplay between.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, yeah. Because and he was under the influence that she thought that they were cool and good, so he wanted to get one to make her happy. So he was going to get this hula girl. Anyway. Back when
it was innocent.
God, back when you had time to watch Gomer Pyle.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and everybody knew he was gay, nobody cared.
Did everybody know?
Not everybody, but those who did really didn't care.
I didn't know till a long time.
Yeah.
But it doesn't.
My cousin used to tell the jokes. He goes, what did Gomer say when Sergeant Carter came into the bathroom?
I don't know.
Golly, Sergeant.
What did he nail that character? Though?
Oh God,
he nailed that character.
Yeah. He was great. He was really great.
Well, ladies and gentlemen,
he was like the gay Bob Denver.
Thank you, sir. Gay Bob Denver.
You'd throw in Don Knotts, and you had the entire
whole
60s. And comedy in the 60s was those three guys.
But Aunt B was mean in real life, they say.
She was mean on the TV.
Yeah, Frances Bouvier. Anyway.
Well, if I was named after a dog, I'd be angry too.
Or a mule. Was a Bouvier a dog?
Yeah.
Is it? Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's also Jackie Kennedy's maiden name.
Oh, yeah, Bouvier.
Yeah, but it's the name of a French dog.
I wonder what kind of hidden things are in that.
I think Obama got a Bouvier or something like that.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, in that loop. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you've been watching the imho.love show. I'm Lou Angelwolf. That's Mike Murburg. Please like and subscribe the show and tell us your opinions. We'd love to hear from you. We're here every Wednesday night at 7:30 unless otherwise planned. And we cover CE5, haha, and information, aha, and haha, and aha, and CE5.
Yeah. We'll go into the $21 trillion that's missing from the department.
$21 trillion.
I'm sorry, is it million? I mean, I'm sorry, it's so mind-boggling. Funny, but they and 6.5 million or 6.5 trillion from last year, which is 54 times what the military's budget is.
Yeah.
So where did that money come from, and where did it go?
And we right. Okay. Yeah. Exactly. And it was interesting in the Lee Camp video. He explained how much $1 trillion is.
Yeah, if you take $1,000 and you do like $1 trillion, that's a 63-mile high pile of $1,000 bills to get to $1 trillion.
Right,
so
laid flat.
laying flat. And if you and if you take 54 that times amount, that'll take you to the moon.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, it's nuts.
And
but it's real.
If you put $40,000 a year,
that's good.
Okay, towards $1 trillion debt, you would have it paid off without interest in 25 million years.
Yes, that was 25 million.
25 million years.
But with interest at 7%, which is a reasonable amount, you could easily double that amount.
You would never get it paid off.
Exactly.
They're going to repossess my whatever.
That's the point.
They're going to repossess my universe.
Well, you have a soul to sell, so guess what? It lasts forever, so they can always do that to you.
Souls for sale.
So, yeah, eventually you get paid back. Yeah. So that's why you got to keep your soul.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much, everybody. And in my shout-outs, if I missed you, thank you so much for everybody that has been sending me stuff all week. You guys are great. You girls are great. Just like I said, like, subscribe, or share. Put it anywhere you want. We're on Facebook Live for a while, and then it gets switched over to YouTube, and then BitChute and imho.love. Like we say every week, folks, use your head, but trust your gut, and your heart will bring you home. So thank you so much, and have a great rest of the week. Don't panic.
Peace, y'all.
But don't fall asleep either. Don't become normalized. That's what we're in. We're in the normalization. We're trying to make this all seem normal now.
Yeah, yeah.
And
we're the cleavers when you need them.
Yeah,
Beaver Cleaver. What a name.
Beaver Cleaver. There's hidden stories there. Okay. Trying to shut this thing off, and survey says there it is, hidden underneath that thing.